Humans, listen to me. It is I, Zeus, your god, the one true god. I command you now to make sure all your mobile devices are switched to silent mode for the duration of the performance. Nothing shall interrupt my storyteller. For tonight you will learn how I became the one and only king.
Smiling faces. I want to share with you all tonight, as you already know, some stories. Now, theatres around the world will on this same evening be sharing a whole host of different tales with love and death, dreams being fulfilled or destroyed, murder, magic, mystery, mayhem and conflict. But the stories you're going to hear here tonight no doubt inspired many of those tales. Tonight, I want to share with you all just a few of the many that have come from Greek mythology. Now, most of you, of course, have come with questions. Who did Zeus have to kill to become king of the gods? Who stole the forbidden gift of fire to gift humanity? And what did Icarus do with his first and only set of wings? The most important question, however, you will be wondering, is how long is this show going to be? We're going to be done here in about 70 minutes' time, which I hope is not too long a time for me to take to tell you about some fascinating characters in remarkable circumstances. Now, later on, I may need a handful of volunteers from amongst you to help me with a few of the stories, but please don't worry. You don't have to do anything too crazy or stupid. I want to get you guys involved, and, well, it's a great way for me to check that you're all still awake. Okay?
Get on with the show. You tire me, human. Tell these people how I became their king, their god. That's what they want to hear.
Okay, we must, of course, set the scene for all the myths to come. No doubt most of you will be familiar with many gods, demigods, titans, and half-bloods, but the most famous of all, of course, is Zeus, king of the gods. And I want to start us off with a very quick summary, charting Zeus all the way from his birth to ascension to the throne, just as a way to ease you in and answer any lingering questions you might have about him, like how, in fact, did Zeus become king of the gods? Where did his lightning bolts come from? How did he fit in next to Hades and Poseidon, his brothers? And something we'll have a look at a bit later on in later stories is what was Zeus's obsession with one-night stands, often transforming himself into animals to kidnap young women, and, well, he wasn't someone that crowned himself in glorious deeds despite being a king. To start with, his parents were both Titans. Now, Titans ruled the earth before the Olympians. Zeus was an Olympian, part of the second generation of rulers. His father was Cronus, the Titan god of time, and his mother, Rhea, the Titan goddess of female fertility. Cronus and Rhea had many children: Demeter, Hestia, Hera, Hades, Poseidon, and Zeus. But before they were all born, it was prophesied that one of Cronus' children would grow up to overthrow him. Their father at the time was in his own right the ruler of the Titans. Cronus got wind of this prophecy, and being a jealous and fearful god, not wanting to lose his seat of power, decided to do something about it. He didn't want to risk his immortal position as Titan King. Which of us would want to give up a position so powerful and everlasting? So, what did he do? Well, Cronus decided the most logical thing to do would be to eat his children as they were born. Yeah, that's correct. Not slit their throats, not poison them, not, maybe even wear a condom while he and his wife were eat them. Which is, of course, wrong in all kinds of ways, but this is Greek mythology. It gets much, much weirder than this, trust me. I should also mention, as well as being husband and wife, these two were also brother and sister. Now, you might wonder what Rhea thought of all this. Her children being eaten by their own father. Did the logic of one parent translate to the other? Did she want to see her her husband killed and overthrown by one of their own offspring? Did she want to protect Cronus from what was prophesied to come? Absolutely not. She fucking hated him. And she could do nothing as she went through the pains of pregnancy and childbirth 5 times, only to see each of her beautiful children disappear down the gullet of their father. See, but now she was pregnant with her 6th. Baby Zeus this time was going to be different, she told herself. How would she save this new child of hers? Rhea had to be quick. Being the goddess of fertility means labours were often swift. How would she stop Zeus from being treated like a kebab at the end of the night out in Soho? She came up with a plan. She wasn't going to lose another one. Now it was a stormy day when her waters broke. Luckily, she found herself alone, so she staggered out of the grand palace she lived, escaping all the way to a cave on the island of Crete, barely making it as the contractions squeezed and scrambled at her belly, hoping she'd got far away enough from Cronus to protect the child. The baby was coming now, so she pushed and screamed and pushed and screamed and pushed and pushed. And then there he was, in her arms, a baby. Her baby, Zeus. She held him. But then a dark shadow filled the cave entrance. Cronus had heard her screams and come to finish the job, and he was hungry. He strode towards Rhea, licking his lips. Fee, fi, fo, fum, I smell the blood of my wife's uterus. Closer and closer he came, but Rhea was quick. In his wildness, Cronus had noticed as Rhea carefully placed baby Zeus on the floor, apparently not screaming from just being born, and used his bloodied robe to wrap up a large stone and present it to Cronus instead. Cronus took the robe and without a second look or thought, opened his mouth wide, plopped it in, and swallowed it whole. And smiled to himself. Another baby gone, he thought. No one would take his place now. Then he left, safe in the knowledge that his seat at the top of the world would never be taken from him. Rhea's next step, of course, was to secretly send baby Zeus away. Now, he was cursed to grow up in exile to protect him from his own father. Now, in some stories, it was Gaia, goddess of the earth itself, and Zeus's own grandmother who raised him. In other stories, he was raised by nymphs and a talking goat. Nothing is certain on that fact, but what we do know is that as he was raised, he was trained, learning to harness his inherited godly abilities, becoming immensely powerful, eventually setting his sights on avenging his swallowed siblings and their mother. And when he was old enough, decided to do just that. Zeus got hold of a magical potion, taking it with him to confront his father. And after what can only be described as a Godzilla vs King Kong level battle, was able to force a few drops of the potion down his father's throat. Now what happened next is, well, something disgusting yet incredible. God, the potion forced Cronus to vomit up each of his swallowed children alive. Oh, well, this gave Zeus a whole new squad to fight with. These were the original Avengers. They came out sword, shield, helmet and all. Zeus and his brothers and sisters then waged war on the rest of the Titans in revenge against Cronus' vile actions. The battles raged on, scarring the earth. Zeus even freeing the monstrous Cyclopses, but they were the best weaponsmiths on earth. From them, he received his ultimate weapons of power, the lightning bolts, which gave him control over the sky. With this new power, the children of Cronus were eventually successful, defeating the Titans and imprisoning them forever in Tartarus, a place of eternal suffering and torment. Zeus, Demeter, Hestia, Hera, Hades, and Poseidon would go on to rule the world as the first gods of the Olympian pantheon, owing to their residence at the top of Mount Olympus.